Girl, shave your own toes. Yeah, that's really the episode title today, and you'll find out why when you start listening. But bear with me as I open up on this audio today and share one of my biggest limiting beliefs and self-conscious issues. I hope that you can learn from my experiences as well and that you enjoy today's episode. And as always, I'll see you next week. Hey there, it's Deidra coming at you for Mondays in the Mirror here on Facebook Live. So I am actually still in my car, about to head home after a client's closet session in her home today. And as I was thinking this morning about okay, what am I going to talk about on Mondays in the Mirror? It's what I've been mulling over, and my husband and I actually were talking about it yesterday. We finally had a little bit of pool time after doing a Costco run yesterday, which, side note, if you want a little fun afternoon date on a super hot day, go to Costco and just try all the different samples and make it a fun experience for a day date with you and your partner, if you're into that. If not, no worries. It's all good. Anyway, we had some fun yesterday at Costco, and it was nice and chilly in there because it was probably 100 degrees outside. I know today my car right now says 103. And Mondays in the Mirror is a chance for me to come at you and tell you about what I've been reflecting on. And I've specifically been listening to an audio book. It's a book as well, hardcover or written word, by Rachel Hollis. And for those of you that have listened to it or read it, she talks about different negative or limiting beliefs in each chapter and how she overcame it. And one of them, she talks about making fun of this girl in school because this girl happened to mention that she shaved the top of her toes from the little hairs that were on there. And apparently this was the popular girl, the girl that everybody was a fan of and everybody was friends with, and the author made fun of her in class. And it really came down to the fact that the author herself had to shave the top of her toes too. So the whole moral of the story is that we maybe dislike qualities or traits in somebody else because we see them in ourselves and we're already insecure about it. So I've been trying to think about what are areas in my life that I already know a lot of my insecurities. I try to be honest about that. But when it comes to dealing with other people, and maybe those people that I don't particularly necessarily like or wouldn't consider a super close friend, or somebody where it's yeah, let's grab coffee, let's gab the day away, but maybe we just don't clearly see eye to eye. We're always kind of butting heads. And it kind of dawned on me that the reason that sometimes I have these issues with people, or people that I don't necessarily like per se, is because it is that whole insecurity of the traits that maybe bother me about them are the traits I see in myself that I'm already insecure about and that I have a hard time overcoming, and then it becomes a negative limiting belief about myself. So for instance, I really worry that I'm a selfish person. And I never really voiced that until last summer. I went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within, and you do this whole exercise where you work through some of your own limiting self-beliefs. And he even talks about that the things that you dislike in others are the traits and the qualities that you already have and you dislike in yourself. So to make yourself feel better, inadvertently, we try to minimize those traits in ourselves and decide that we don't like those in other people, because that way it's easier for us to deal with it. We all have traits that we don't necessarily like, and there's always instances where we might showcase a certain side of our personality that we're not uber proud of, and I've definitely been guilty of that. So one of my limiting self-beliefs is that I'm a selfish biatch, for lack of a better term, and it comes down to who I was in high school and the girl that I tried to be, and I tried to be the Miss thing with attitude and Miss Popular, that like nobody was ever good enough for me in high school. And it was just an act to try and seem confident when I really wasn't. And that self-talk and that negative self-belief has led me to where I am today. And I still kind of battle that insecurity. And when there's people in my life that I might call selfish or self-absorbed, it's truly comes down to the fact that like I still battle with that self-talk in my own head, and I'm trying to jump over that hurdle and then, you know, see those people with more grace and more understanding. You know, maybe they had a situation in their childhood where they weren't loved and shown appreciation, and that's why they act the way they do, or things come across in a certain manner. And I need to have grace with those people, because you just never know somebody's story and what they're battling. And when it comes down to it, in the end, we're all seeking acceptance. We're all seeking love. And our two biggest fears as humans are that we're not going to be loved and that we're not enough. And everything stems down from that, like whether it's a murderer or just somebody trying to provide for their family or find love in life. It all comes down from those fears of like worrying that we're not going to be loved and that we're not worthy of love and that we're not going to be enough. So I know it's kind of a quick message tonight, but I just want to focus on, you know, where do you see traits in other people that you already are insecure about with yourself? And not only how can you give yourself grace, but how can you give that person grace? And maybe tell yourself, I don't know what they're battling and what they're dealing with. You know, maybe that mom that I wouldn't reprimand my child in that same way. Who knows? Maybe that child has certain special needs and she's trying to overcome that and help make sure that he is taken care of and feels loved and is provided for. You never know. So just having grace with other people as well as having grace with yourself and ability to forgive and move on. So I'm trying to work with that myself, as well as having forgiveness for my own actions and the things that I've done to other people in my world and my life. So I hope that helps with your Monday to get you going on the right foot this whole week. I love and appreciate you all. And with Style and Grace, I'm Deidra Murphy. Mwah!
You're listening to Miss Style, Strength, and Grace with Deidra Murphy. This is your one-stop shop for style, fashion, health, and fitness. Deidra's passion is to help empower women to reach their fullest potential, both inside and out. Deidra and her guests will be discussing how to develop your style, health, and lifestyle hacks to energize your day and inspire you to keep reaching higher levels of success. Deidra is a professional fashion stylist, health guru, and Mrs. Washington 2017. It's time to get open and honest with Deidra.